Here's the box for the Dynomax cat back. Got it from Quadratech. Here's what it says, although it's for an 01. It's just old labeling. Huge box, 12 by 15 by 52. So might take up a lot of port space for some of you guys, just so you know. Let's open it up and see what we got. Hey, okay, here we are. Everything was packed really good in the box. This Dynomax Super Turbo Catback. We're also going to put a cold air intake on our 2001 Jeep Cherokee. Alright, here we go. Dynomax catback install. Here's the flange we got to get loose. I sprayed some PB Blaster on there for a few days and let that saturate. And it's going to be a 15mm socket. I got a deep socket here ready to go, and let's see if we can get that thing loose. Okay, threw a couple jack stands under the old muffler, and one of the flange bolts just snapped it right off using a 3/4 inch breaker bar with 15mm socket. The other one seems to be coming loose, and I'm just going to keep working on that and take that loose for a minute. So snap the other one off too. So that's one way to get them off. Here's my bolts and my nuts. So kit didn't come with additional bolts, so we have to, of course, do our first run to the auto parts. Before we do that, everyone says that if you spray the this rear hanger with some silicone, it comes apart easier. So, you know, why not? We'll spray some on there. Made a sawzall cut right there in the muffler, and muffler should just fall free. There it is on the ground. One old, rusted out muffler. I decided to go ahead and make another cut on the other side of it, so that just that little piece to wrestle off the hanger. So I don't know if it's a good idea or a bad idea, but we'll see in just a second. Before I try to wrestle that out, I'm just going to go ahead and take this tailpipe section out. As you can see, that bracket's already broke. So it kind of alerted me. Everything was kind of going south underneath here. It was rattling. So I'm gonna see if I can just pry that thing off. Okay, I just went ahead and cut that the end of that off, so I could pull it through the rubber grommet the other way. A lot easier. I tell you, if I thought about it, I had to do all over again, I would definitely replace that rubber hanger. You could just slice that rubber really quick and probably snap the new one on. So probably about $10–11. Wasn't worth that effort, but live and learn. You know, while we're under here, about a month ago we heard some rattling under here, and it was the heat shield had corroded and fell off. So let's see if I can't pull these nuts real quick, and maybe we can get that thing kind of improvised back up with some flat fender washers or something. I don't think it's a big deal, but it's probably there for a reason. Okay, I was able to get all of the little keeper nuts off the bottom. This is the heat shield that I wrestled out from underneath it. You know, the aluminum just disintegrates after a while. So got some fender washers from my shop downstairs. They look like they're going to be just about perfect. No, they're not stainless or anything great like that, but you know, chances are by the time they rust off, hopefully it won't be my problem anymore. Let me see if we can't get this back under there. You can see where it had fell and it had rubbed on the drive train while it was dragging and rattling a little bit. Okay, I just kind of held it there for a second with a jack stand, and it's 11mm is what takes those nuts loose, and do the fender washers up, and it's back up. I'm just going to snug those a little bit, And you know, the rub from the axle, I guess, as it came loose, it vibrated over, got on top of the drive shaft, and that's where I had heard it rattling and wrestled it out. So okay, let me tighten those up, and let's see if we can start putting this exhaust system back together. Okay, went ahead and just took the tailpipe section and put it over the rear axle, and just had to be careful twisting in there that hanger hook didn't hang up on the emergency brake cables and stuff. Went ahead and just inserted it into the rubber and left it there, and I think I'm going to go to the back and just hang a clamp on the rear hanger. Okay, just went ahead and took one of those hangers and just kind of hung onto it. I'm going to leave that foam on the tailpipe for a little bit. I could see where some people have special bumpers, maybe that would get in the way. It's not enough of a kick down on it, but I think it's going to be fine for what we need. And let me get that muffler out of the box and see what that takes. Okay, I went ahead and just finger tight put the new flange on. I did take a wire brush on a drill motor and just cleaned up the old end of that. I don't know that it made a really big difference. It really wasn't that corroded or that bad or anything. I just thought worth a try. I'm gonna try to hang the muffler up in here next. Okay, we got it all hanging in there. It looks to me like the tailpipe's a lot closer to the rear axle than I'd like to see it, but where it goes over the top. But I'm sure they got this engineered to work. So everything's just kind of hanging loose. I think I'm going to bolt the flange first, and then, you know, kind of keep tweaking it as much as I can away from that axle and bolt it up. Okay, I just went ahead and tightened that rear clamp, and looks like it's all in there. Just finished installing the Dynomax Super Turbo Cat back on 2001 Jeep Cherokee. Thought it might be nice to talk about what it took for me to do it. I used my handy 18-volt Sawzall with a really aggressive short metal cutting blade, a couple of jack stands, drill motor with a wire brush on it to clean up that flange a little bit, a little trouble light. I used a 1/2-inch breaker bar with a 3/8 reducer on there, a pair of channel locks, a regular 3/8 ratchet, a 15mm deep socket to remove the flange bolts. I snapped them off. You might want to cut those with a Dremel, might be easier for some people, and a 11mm deep socket to reattach the heat shield, and a 14mm to tighten up the new the new clamps with the kit. And that's about it. And actually, I actually had a big hammer laying by, but I never needed to use it. Okay, well, here's the old exhaust system out, and ended up with one miscellaneous bracket that I didn't really need. It must be for an earlier model Cherokee. And I mean, that was really not that big of a deal. One thing that was a little bit frustrating, it'd be nice if they put a couple of extra 10mm flange nuts with a 15mm drive. Just had to run to the hardware store and grab a couple of those. Other than that, I mean, I think it's pretty good value. You know, $163, Quadratech. You know, with a $50 rebate going on right now, kind of hard to beat that. And that's it for the Dynomax Super Turbo Cat back system for 2001 Jeep Cherokee.